In the autumn of 1940, with the Second World War well underway, Britain found itself with the very real possibility of a German invasion. Fortunately, the English Channel formed a natural barrier, but it wouldn't hold the enemy back for long. Defences to a land invasion needed to be erected as soon as possible. Concrete bunkers were built and strewn throughout the countryside. Anti-tank traps and landmines were another layer of defence. But something else was needed. Military minds devised an idea to create a wall of fire floating on the surface of the ocean just off the mainland. Maybe this crazy idea might just work and hold off the invading German army. In today's video, we look at the British flame defences of World War II. If you enjoy this video and want to see more, hit that subscribe button. It's free and really helps the channel reach more history lovers like you. In May 1940, with the German army pushing the French and British soldiers towards the sea at Dunkirk, a mass evacuation began. In the ensuing days, nearly 350,000 soldiers would be ferried from France to Britain. But this hasty retreat meant leaving behind thousands of pieces of military equipment. An estimated 600 tanks, 1,500 artillery pieces, and almost 60,000 various vehicles had to be abandoned in France. This ultimately meant the British were severely under strength to hold any German invasion of Britain in the preceding months. While factories tried their best to rebuild the losses, defences were the only other option. The idea of a flame barrage was born and set to be tested under the Petroleum Warfare Department. By August 1940, the first trial of this hellish device was ready for testing. This took place in the small seaside town of Deal, just north of the shortest distance to France at Dover. Pipes were connected to the flammable liquid, which was a mixture of 40% gasoline and 60% fuel oil. The pipes ran out from the land across the beach and into the ocean, where they met a series of other interconnecting pipes. Once the valves were opened, the fuel flowed through the pipes and began to bubble on the surface of the water just off the beach. Once decent-sized pools had formed, they were ignited, and a huge wall of flames rose from the water. The fire was around 50 feet high, but what's more, thick smoke covered the area. This was so intense that the nearby white cliffs were stained black. Any German boats trying to drive through this would surely have no chance. The test was such a success that full production was ordered. The final product would be much the same, however the fuel sources would be hidden in cellars of nearby buildings and pipes pumped into the ocean. Another weapon was the flame fougasse. This was a sort of flame-spitting mortar. Essentially, a 55-gallon drum would be buried in a concealed position and filled with a flammable liquid mixture. When it was ignited, fire would burst out of it, covering the immediate area. These weapons were very simple to make and easy to use. Because of this, some 50,000 were manufactured during the war. A similar version, known as the flame trap, was also created. This involved lining a roadway with perforated pipes on either side and hooked up to a fuel supply. If enemy infantry or vehicles were travelling along the road, the British defenders could turn on a switch to fill the pipes and then ignite them, trapping the Germans along a road of fire. Ultimately, none of these weapons were ever tested out on the enemy, as by the end of 1940, the Germans all but gave up on their invasion of Britain and focused their efforts elsewhere. Still though, these flame defences were very interesting ideas and show the amazing ingenuity of the British during World War II. What did you think of the British flame defences? Had you ever heard of these before? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to expand your knowledge and join the growing Premier History community.